Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I am Jasmeen Kaur, Assistant Professor, Khalsa College, Patiala. Today, my topic of discussion is accounting for partnership firms. This is divided into 4 modules. Module 1 is fundamental of partnership. Module 2 is admission of a partner. Module 3 is retirement and death of a partner. Module 4 is dissolution of partnership. Module 1 is fundamental of partnership, which is further divided into 2 parts, that is basics of partnership and practical applications. So here in this video, we're going to discuss about Module 1, Part 1, that is Basics of Partnership. And the learning objective for the students is they will get to know about the partnership, they will get familiar with the various attributes of partnership, they will learn about various types of partners, they will also get to know about the partnership deed and its implications. To begin with the partnership, firstly, let's talk about the sole tradership. Sole trader is a single owner running and managing his business on its own. He himself is whole soul responsible for his business. But that makes him limited to a small business. In the words of famous American author, political activist, and lecturer Helen Keller, alone we can do little, together we can do much. So whenever he wants to expand his capital base, he needs varied skills or wants to share his risks. That is for the growth of his business. He can either go for forming a partnership or a company. Thus, the need for partnership arises from the limitation of the sole tradership. As per the definition given under Section 4 of Indian Partnership Act 1932, a partnership is a relation between 2 or more persons who have agreed to share the profits of the business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. Basically, partnership is a relation between 2 or more persons who join hands to form a business to earn profits. These persons who join hands are individually known as partners and collectively a firm. Partner provide the necessary capital, runs the business jointly, and share the responsibility jointly. As famous CEO and co-founder of Apple Incorporation, Steve Jobs says, great things in a business are never done by one person. They are done by a team of people. So a partnership is all about a team of people, association of persons working together for a common goal. Next is the essential characteristics of a partnership. First is there must be at least 2 partners to form a partnership. And as per Companies Act 2013, they should not be exceeding 100. So the maximum limit to the partner in a partnership is 100. Third is agreement. Whenever partnership is there must be an agreement between the partners, and that agreement can be written or oral. That agreement contained various terms and conditions of the partnership. Next is legal business. A partnership should be based upon a legal aim. It should be having a legal purpose. For example, if 2 or 3 people are coming together to form a partnership for smuggling some unique items from one country to another country, that is not a partnership, because the purpose of their business is illegal, that is smuggling. Next is limited life. The life of the partnership is limited towards certain factors, like whenever a new partner is entered into a partnership, the partnership dissolves and new partnership created. So likewise, whenever a partner withdraws from a partnership, he is due to his retirement or a death or insolvency case, these all are factors indicating towards limited life. Certain other factors are like expiry of time period for which the partnership is formed. Like a partnership is for 3 years, 4 years, and whenever the time is over, the partnership is over. Similarly, the partnership can be for a project, like for making a bridge, and when the bridge is built, the partnership is over. Next important attribute is profit sharing. The income and losses earned by a partnership are co-owned by the partners and shared as per the pre-decided ratio or equally among them. Next is unlimited liability. That means each partner is personally or individually liable for all the partnership liabilities. Like if assets of the firm is not sufficient to pay the creditor's claim, then the personal assets of the partners can be attached. Next is mutual agency. That means all the decisions in the partnership is collectively taken by the partners with the consent of every partner. Each partner work as an agent of a firm, can earn its contracts, can enter into the contracts, can take the decisions and part in the management, can give their opinion. So all these factors forms a mutual agency. Next is co-ownership of property. That means the asset invested in the partnership are owned jointly by all the partners. Next topic is various types of partners or classification of partners. First is active or managing partner. An active or managing partner is a partner who contributes capital, who participate in the day-to-day activities of the business, who participate in the management of the firm, and also acts as an agent to the other partners. But here a single point is to underline is whenever this partner retires, he has to give a public notice. Otherwise, he will be continued to be liable for the acts of the firm even after his retirement. Next is sleeping or dormant partner. A dormant partner do not take into part of day-to-day activities of the firm and also do not take participation in any kind of managerial work. However, he contributes capital, he shares profit and losses of the firm, and he is also bound by the actions of all other partners. But here he does not require any kind of public notice while retiring. Next is a secret partner. A secret partner is a partner who is totally unknown to the public but secretly associated with the firm. He contributes towards capital, he participates in the profits, he has unlimited liability but totally unknown to the third parties. Next is a nominal partner, which is exactly opposite to the secret partners. They are also known as ostensible partners, as they are known to the outsiders, very popular and known personalities who allows the firm to use their names, but they don't contribute any kind of capital, do not share profit and losses, do not take part in any kind of day-to-day activities of the firm or management of the firm. But they are very popular, they are known to outsiders that they are part of this organization. Next is partner by estoppel or holding out. In the eyes of third parties, they considered as partners. That is because of their own initiatives, their acts, their conducts or their behavior that the third party assumes that these persons are associated with certain firms. That makes them liable for the debts of the firm because in the eyes of third parties they are the partners, even though they don't contribute any kind of capital, they don't take part in the management but become a partner by estoppel. Next is outgoing partner. Whenever a partner voluntarily retires without causing dissolution to a partnership firm, that means an outgoing partner. Here he has to give a public notice about his voluntary retirement and he is liable for all the debts and obligation up to the date of his retirement. Next is the partner in profits only. That means a partner sharing profits without making himself responsible for any kind of losses. Here, although he contributes the capital, liable towards the third parties, but the firm don't allow them to participate in any kind of management, administrative or activities of the firm. Next is minor partner. If we talk about in terms of Indian Contract Act 1872, a minor cannot become a partner, but as per the section 30 of Partnership Act 1932, a minor can be a partner, but only for the benefits of the partnership and with the consent of all other partners. That means he is a partner who has the share in profits only and does not participate in the losses, and his liability is a limited one, that is up to his share of capital only. Next is quasi-partner. A quasi-partner is once a partner, but now he is not. He left his share in the business, become the creditor of the firm, and earns interest on that particular capital left in the business. Next is partnership deed. A partnership deed is very important part of partnership. A partnership deed is a it depicts the relationship between the partners that may be expressed formally, that is oral or written, or implied by their conduct. A written deed is recommended with all the partners because that authenticates and facilitates the functioning of the business. Not only the functioning, but it also helps in settlement of all the disputes among the partner, avoids the misunderstanding among the partners, because basically an agreement or a deed is consisting of the terms and conditions which partners are agreed to form a partnership. There are certain important elements or contents of a partnership deed. Whenever a partnership deed is or an agreement is formed, there must be mentioned the name of the firm, the name of the different partners, the nature of the business, where the business is located or the head office of the business, the address basically of the business, then the duration of the business or a firm, plus the commencement date of the firm. Along with this, the capital invested by the different partners is also mentioned, and how much interest should be given on that particular capital is also given. Along with this, the profits and the losses, the share of profit and losses should be clearly mentioned. The drawings allowed to the partners and the interest charged by the firm, the salary, the commission, or anything which will be payable to any working or active partner must be clearly defined in partnership deed to avoid any kind of disputes in future. In case of absence of partnership deed, there are some rules that every partner must follow. The very first is all the profits and losses in a firm must be equally shared among the partners. No interest on drawing and no interest on capital will be provided to any partner. No remuneration or commission or any other payment will be given to the partners. But if a partner has provided any kind of loan to the firm, then a fixed 6% interest will be given and treated as a charge on the firm. With that, the first part of module 1, that is basics of partnership, is done, and the practical application of partnership will be covered in next video. Thank you.